Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Not a female superstar, she is a superstar.
Welcome to the middle of basketball actions. Today we're taking it back to a story of endeavor, talent, and clutch moments in the WNBA. Appreciate a season where even the dribble, pass, and every shot that lands in the hoop gives not only point but a revolutionized professional basketball. Nowadays it is hard to find a basketball fan who does not know such names as Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson. These phenomenal players have so charmed courts and kits and even flooded highlights reels, but their goals are not only their team's ones. Hear the beast mode against the buzzer-beating shots, and how the two players have climbed the ladder to become the kind of player any young and aspiring athlete looks up to. When it comes to women's basketball, regardless of whether you are an addict of the game who has been watching the game for many years or a rookie, you will enjoy following their tactics, their performance, and achievements. Are you prepared to watch the game in a brand new way, or rather with a new dimension? Let's get started. This is not basketball like any other games being played around the world. It is indeed history in the making. If you are as pumped as we are, remember to click that thumbs up button, and for more daily sports videos, do not forget to subscribe. Here we go, people. Let's get to explore the fascinating Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson. Caitlin Clark is not only a part of the WNBA now, she is a part of the WNBA, where has a level of performance rarely seen in someone new. Going from a college player to a professional one was an easy process for her awe-inspiring performances that have padded the traditional standards for rookies. She has displayed energetic shooting, outstanding playmaking, and is an electrifying personality not only for her team, the Fever, but also a symbol of the future WNBA. People will gather to watch, and she can make the games far more interesting and competitive than it already is because of how talented and marketable she is. Be it executing three-pointers from near impossible positions or passing through balls that cut through near impenetrable defenses, Caitlin is a basketball genius par excellence. However, the biggest factor from her is leadership and the attitude she has employed, especially in matches against quality opposition like the Aces. Hence the physical and strategic demands by powerful and more experienced players that Caitlin has had to deal with in her transition to the professional level has been phenomenal. Thus, her game intelligence, factors such as ability to read defenses, make decisions within split seconds, and perform when challenged is something that is certainly above her age level. Every game is a learning process for her, and she is on her way to becoming an MVP of basketball, and perhaps one of the most decorated legends of women basketball. The matchup between the Aces and the Fever has easily become one of the factors that are shaping the success of the WNBA this year. On the pitch, the Aces have become the ambitious team with unlimited potential as the powerhouse of the league, while the Fever never tired of living up to that part of them represented by Caitlin Clark, the spirited underdog. Every time these teams come face to face, it is not just a competition, it is war of ideologies, a classic war between the traditional approach and the modern one. In this season, it has most of the times been the Aces who have prevailed in the game due to the team's prowess and strength and depth. However, the Fever has much improved their performances, especially in such big bully matches. The games that have been played between the Fever and the Aces have always proved to be informative and very valuable to the team because they help the players learn about their potentials and their weaknesses and ways in which they can be more prepared for the next times the two teams meet. It is amazing to analyze the specifics of the tactics, such as how the defense of the Aces attempts to blunt the penetration of Caitlin Clark. These aspects are checkmates inside a checkers game. This is the aspect which shows an improvement of game intelligence and team dynamics of Indiana, since they are able to change their offense to open up space and opportunities for Caitlin and other teammates. This existing hatred is not only a reflection of the nature of the WNBA competition, but also a symbol of more interesting matchups in the future as the Fever continue to search for ways of surmounting one of their big opponents. A'ja Wilson has been dominant all season long, putting her in the conversation for MVP. This season, she has been an amazing player, doing most everything right, from scoring to rebounding to blocking shots, and of course, commanding her team, the Aces, to victory most of the time. A'ja can now work on both the defensive and attacking sides in a match, making her one of the most potent athletes in the league. This is because she has been known to score goals, most especially the decisive ones in matches, while at the same time being a strong and aggressive defender. To say that A'ja is simply a player would be the understatement of the year. Her games are the exhibition of athletic ability, mental prowess, and determination that can only be offered by one of the most well-rounded basketball players in the WNBA. This season, she has scored big and has led her entire team through the difficult difficult games, and thereby she standing as the leader par excellence. The talk about her as an MVP candidate is supported by some highlights, whether it is a block to win a match, a rebound in a traffic, or a double team situation which she has to sink a basket despite her stature. In a way, these performances this season do not only inflate her numbers, they alter the results of matches, the position in league table, and serve as evidence of why Aja is the central piece of MVP conversation. Every moment of Caitlin Clark this season was thrilling and taught the team and their fans a number of valuable lessons. Opposing teams' stiff defensive lineup has challenged her psychology and pushed her to versatility. Many teams have conspired how to limit her impact. This has meant that the best players are assigned to guard her, or complicated plays are drawn up which specifically aim to counter her. Nevertheless, there are certain leaps in Caitlin's development which are quite noticeable. She has become wise in how to penetrate through such defenses to make her contribution through the baskets, passes to her teammates when she attracts the defenders to her side. This ability to come on and create plus make that impact has not solely manifested how she has played, but also her mentality and the kind of attitude she displays as a captain. Furthermore, she has been gradually getting better in reading the game and dealing with important proactive decision making that have seen her remain effective despite the fact that paths to scoring are constantly shut down. She has transitioned from a pure shooter to a well-rounded leader, and such an approach demonstrates her willingness not only to achieve high results individually, but also to help her entire team, co-workers, and fellow players improve overall. Officiating in the WNBA has always been a sensitive subject, but in this season it appears that controversies have been taken to another level, especially where Caitlin and Aja are featured. The referees are also responsible for giving out the signals that determine game outcomes, and due to the issues of bias, the standards of officiating have been an issue of concern in the league. Due to this, there has always been disagreements among fans, analysts, and players, most of which has been over contentious calls. This is perhaps the reason such decisions attract considerable attention, especially for teams like the Fever and the Aces, where the stakes are very high. This has made teams to develop strategies to find ways how to overcome their opponents, and at the same time, trying to overcome the uncertainties of the officials. There is a growing appreciation for the requirement for more frequent and standardized calls and clear review procedures, and possibly technology support in decision-making processes. This paper posits that as the league expands the public base for the enhancement of the fairness and accuracy of the officials is increasing, indicating that there is a need for change in policies that is proportional to the growth and the dynamic nature of the league. The regular season is coming to an end while the playoffs are becoming more apparent. The Fever and the Aces are sure to be in the playoffs. The Fever, especially with Caitlin, who is on her way to showing her leadership skills, are developing into a team that is able to be considered as a dark horse now that their chemistry is developing on the floor and their coordination gets better as the games go by. The Aces stay the favorites, especially with a JG with the number of players they still have and the talent that Aja brings to the table. The Las Vegas Aces will always be a force to reckon with. Despite this though, the changes within the Fever, instigated by Caitlin and the malting chess masters of the coaching team, suggest a positive result in playoffs. There is the possibility of the underdogs creating surprises, and fans are eagerly waiting for the playoff season. Off-field preparations of both teams are intense. In addition to physical trainings, coaches and the teams ensure that both physical and mental readiness of the teams to face each other in playoffs. The playoff is hard for everyone, not only physically, but mentally, as well as it demands the willpower, strategy, and flexibility. While Ariana wants to consolidate on the performance it has depicted in the regular season, the Blues want to work out how it will fare in the playoffs following the changes.